Hello YouTube, this is Richard Scott Jones with PCGamesN and I'm joined once again by Ben.
Hello everyone.
And we're going to talk through the latest patch to League of Legends, which is 7.7, underway right now on the PTR.
Yeah.
As with all patches, I assume there are some new skins. Why don't you kick us off there?
Yeah, there is. So the new skins this time, there's actually a legendary skin, which is one of their higher tiers of ones. Yeah. So this isn't like the $30 ones that they make, that they've only made like 5 of. I think it's the tier just below that.
Right.
But you know, it's got like new voice lines, new effects. It looks very nice. It's got all sorts of unique interactions with like other characters and other skins and that sort of thing.
Cool.
And it's for Lee Sin. It's called Godfist Lee Sin. It's not really my jam because it's kind of fairly, I would say, pedestrian for this kind of skin. Like he's kind of topless and he's got really powerful fists. And that's kind of his jam, and that's what he normally is like anyway. But it's a little less kung fu focused, I think, which is how his normal skin is centered.
Okay.
But it is, you know, standard ride quality, and it looks really nice. And I'm sure for Lee Sin players, it'll be absolutely everything they want. And he is one of their more popular characters, the kind of character that you can kind of dominate a game with if you really know what you're doing.
Okay, cool.
So I'm sure he'll be popular. On the other side of things,
I did see this.
Yeah.
It was quite. You go ahead. Tell us all about Dreadnova Darius.
Yeah, that's correct. So this one is extremely my jam. Less high quality. It certainly won't cost you quite as much money as well. And it really looks like Games Workshop are going to sue somebody when it comes to this one.
Yeah.
It's extremely Warhammer 40,000, right down to the chain axe. And I like this one a lot. And again, I think particularly the splash art for this
Splash art's great.
is absolutely brilliant. So yeah, that's kind of what's happening on the skin front, just the two of them, but both of them look pretty high quality. And I would say that's probably the focus for this patch, as we'll get onto in a second. There isn't a ton of kind of balance changes going on.
Mm-hmm.
Similar kind of story. Karma is getting some of her splash art reworked. She had some of the old style splash art, which is bad.
Right.
Very much, you know, created by artists trying to design loads of splash art all at the same time, way back when, you know, 2010 area when they were first developing League of Legends. So like there were kind of these, you can, as soon as you look at them, you can tell they're like this old style, because A, everything looks terrible, and B, they're just like kind of the character on like a monochrome background with a little bit of shading going on. That's what she used to have. Now she's got some nicer ones, and they're also doing some changes just to make sure her face is like consistent in each of them. So that's kind of what's going on the art side of things.
Okay, cool. The aesthetic update continues.
Yeah.
So what about balancing? What's going on in balancing?
So there is a lot of seemingly small but reasonably significant tweaks. Basically like 1 or 2 changes to loads of different characters. And then 2 that are kind of getting, I would say, larger changes than that. One is a Mumu, who's getting basically a new passive instead of what it did before, which was like reducing magic resistance on effects. He curses enemies when he hits them, and now they take more damage. Excellent. Cool. And that means that they can tie it more easily into the rest of his kit. Some of his spells now have those effects as well. Nunu is also getting a passive change. It looks like that's kind of where their focus is. And basically he upgrades his spells every time his passive triggers, including at the final rank, which means he actually get like an extra effect really late on in the game, which should help. Like, I mean, it'll give him some more late game power, but also just makes him kind of cool, because it means he scales beyond the usual level of a character. Like his abilities now go up to rank 6 effectively with the help of his passive. There were some more significant changes that were kind of teased over the last like couple of days, but they've kind of got rid of those and said they'll be coming back in 7.8. One of them was almost what I would call a rework for Lysandra, who was getting like, you know, multiple changes to every single one of her skills, new effects, that sort of thing. And there was also a Jinx buff that looked like is something they want to be doing, but they're going to have to test a bunch of stuff before they can put that live. So all of that you can see in the next patch, which will be 7.8, which should hit the PBE next week.
Okay, cool. What else? Is there anything else?
So there's a few like tiny tweaks. There's something about the mid-season invitational that's been found in like the strings. So this isn't something they've actually even put on the PBE yet. It's just stuff that's kind of buried in the files that Surrender at 20's managed to dig out with their data mining skills. What it looks like is you'll kind of pick a team to support during the mid-season invitational. And then there's I think we're calling it a fan battle royale, something along that, where it'll say at the start of the game, oh, X player is supporting whatever team. And then I would assume they'll tally all that up. So like globally, you know, TSM will have so many fans, and then you have their global win-loss rate for all of their fans. Presumably all of that will be compared. Maybe the people that pick the winning team will get, you know, some icons or something at the end of it. But a lot of that is kind of speculation. Presumably they'll introduce this stuff as the mid-season invitational rolls around in the next couple of months.
Okay, cool. That sounds exciting for esports people.
Yeah.
And that about wraps us up, I believe.
Yeah,
for
that's
patch,
everything, yeah.
7.7. Thanks very much for watching. Like, share, subscribe, ring the bell, all that social media governs.
Do all the things.
Do all the things. And we'll see you again next time. Thank you.
Thanks for watching.